Then we went to see an indie film over in, is it Belmont, Bellevue?
The Belcourt?
Probably, yeah, I think so.
Over on
by
Hillsborough
Fido.
Village?
Yes,
Double
Yeah,
feature weekend for the
Belcourt Theater.
Comptons.
yeah. Garbage.
Oh, shit.
What was the movie?
It's called The Mastermind. About like a heist in a museum, and I'm like, all right, I'll give this a shot. Charlie didn't want to go see Predator, which really chapped my ass.
So it's like National Treasure?
She learned her lesson.
Oh, bro,
What did Charlie think about the movie?
It was not good.
Okay, so
She
so you were
appreciated
in
it
the car
because
ride
apparently there's an audience for indie films that like go to the festivals and stuff like that.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
more
yeah,
about
yeah.
it for the art instead of the
Sundance.
they're more about it for the art instead of the box office. But this was as bad as it gets. Bro.
Can I?
A couple giggles, like a couple like good lines for
Yeah.
some laughs, but overall, I had no clue what I was watching. I wanted to leave within 20 minutes. I sat. I tried to invest myself in the entire movie. I did invest myself into the entire movie, but just a brutal movie, top to bottom.
Is this it?
Yes, that's it right there,
Okay,
Mastermind.
couple of things.
92% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah,
Yeah, 92. Look
That's
at
the
the
critic.
audience,
That's
though.
the critic score. I
Yeah.
feel like those are the very indie films where if it's a high audience, I mean, high critic score, low audience score. I'm with you. Like I appreciate good movies, good art, but if the audience score is so low and the critic is so high, it feels like it's always going to be a snobby film.
Yeah.
The only thing that matters is the viewers,
The people.
the viewers rating. This whole, like you were talking about it, like you go to a movie, people aren't really about the movie, they're more about the art. That is so dumb to me. Like you can have a fun, self-expressive, I want to tell my side of the story in this very unique way, but it's got to be good. You can't do that, man. Okay, you can't fucking do
The
that.
Belcourt was like my first red flag, but I'm embracing it. I walked
Right.
in. Oh, this is gonna be good. Let's get a little combo here. They did sell Raisinets, so I was fired up about that. But I walked in, you're kind of crammed in this 40 person. Apparently, Belcourt was built back in like the 1920s.
Which
so
is
some
fun.
good history.
That's
that
fun
was
history,
fun. I'm
yeah.
sitting down, a little uncomfortable sitting down. I'm kind of doing one of these to where I like my arm is around Charo the entire time. And I'm watching this thing, and it's going to be some heist at a museum. Like, okay, you know what? Didn't get to watch Predator. So let me watch this heist at a museum.
Right. Maybe you'll culture yourself up a little bit and be like, hey, boys, you got to go see this movie.
It's like the 1970s. It very much felt like you were in the 70s watching a film that just released in the 70s. So we're watching this heist. This is just a local at a local museum that just took a couple paintings, like stuffed them in like pillowcases. And he's like, hey, boys, this is what we're going to do. Like, he doesn't have a job. He's a shit husband and father. He's not around. He wakes up late. His wife, she's the worker and grinder and takes the kids to school. And he's just sitting around. Like, they go to dinner with the family and he's just listening to his dad make comments, about, hey, your buddy did all this. Like, why couldn't you do anything? And he's like, this is where I'm going to get my lick. I'm going to steal some paintings at a museum. He steals these paintings with a couple of his boys who one pulled out a gun and they made
Very
the girl
heisty of him.
made the girl like hide under but there's no intensity going on. Like, it's just like the camera set up and you hear the quiet and the silence, and he's like, hey, get on the floor, and she's just like laying on the floor, and these scenes are brutal. And so he steals these paintings, and I'm like, all right, I wonder what his come up's gonna be here. He's sitting down with his mom. Hey, mom, can I borrow some money? Like, I'm working for this architect. I'm gonna get you this money back. I'm thinking he's gonna do some high level shit right now. He steals the paintings, and he's just looking at him in his living room. And I'm like, is he going to sell them? Like, what is he going to go to the black market? He just looks at the paintings. Then he goes and hides them out at a farm. And I think he was just going to keep the paintings. And then there's like, hey, if you bring this guy in, he makes the local paper, you bring him in, we're going to get $2,000 in reward. I'm thinking this couldn't have been what he thought.
Yeah.
Taking these paintings. He gets detectives in his house within a day or two. His wife and kids leave him. He takes the paintings, like he gets caught by like some mob, like they stuff him in a car, but no intensity, no peak vibe of the movie. Then he goes, tries and freeloads around, like gets caught, takes the paintings. Detective kind of catches him. They haven't arrested him yet. There's a warrant out for his arrest. The mob, or this other group from his buddy that went with him, they take the paintings from him. They basically force him to go drive to the farm and show him where the paintings are. He willingly does it. And he's just kind of sitting there like,
So he's not even really attached to these paintings.
No, and he's like, what am I going to do next? He goes to his buddies and he stays overnight with them. They drink a lot of beer, and the wife sets him down the next day, and she's like, I can't have you in this house anymore. Like, you got to stop talking to my husband. So he leaves there and catches a train, tries to muster up $11 and change to go to the next spot. Goes to the next spot. he's at his all-time low, and he's trying to figure out what he's going to do, and he just takes a purse from a lady so he can take her money and go buy a ticket to the train, goes into this march, some political march, and this guy's like, hey, here, you dropped the purse, because he took the money out. He's like, all right, I got my cash. Now I'm going to go get out of here. And the guy behind him's like, he throws the purse down. The guy picks it up. He's like, hey, you forgot this purse. And he hands it to him. He's like, thanks. Gets beat over the head with a nightstick. They throw him in the back of like a cop car and drive him off because he's part of this march. And then the film ends.
Oh.
Dude,
yeah, and it just says Finn at the end. Yeah, Finn.
And apparently in indie films, you're supposed to sit and watch all the credits and everything else.
Your ass was up
there
immediately.
I'm like, hey, let's get out of here.
What are we doing? Charles probably, hey, come on, sit down.
We're walking, and I like look over at it. She's grinning. She's like, what'd you think of the film? And I was like, you didn't want to go to Predator for this?
Good on Charles for trying something new.
What did she think?
But now we know.
She laughed at us. She knew it wasn't a good movie. She's more of like the whole art aspect, indie film. She's trying to explain to me like why it's important to the audience to still continue to sit there and watch the credits at the end. And I'm like, I don't. Yeah, that was bullshit. Anybody that tells me, oh, this film made it to a film festival, right now that holds zero credit in my eyes.
Right. You don't believe in Sundance anymore. You don't
She's
believe
like, they
in
don't want to appease the box
these French
office.
film festivals that happen anymore.
Yeah.
You're out on that.
No, I'm out.
Here's the thing, dude. You deserve a lot of credit because I know you're a big Predator fan. You also deserve a lot of credit because I feel like a common movie watcher will see a movie halfway through, decide the movie's ass, and leave. I think that is a big no-no. You should always sit and watch the movie. And this, when you're telling your story, I'm falling asleep. Like, it sounds like nothing's really happening in this entire movie. There's things happening, but it's like not at the excitement level that we're all hoping it can be at. Yeah. So credit you for sitting through that. Not staying for the credits.
Can I tell you where some more credit will probably be thrown my way?
Go ahead and, hey, lob this one up so I can dunk on him for you.
So since we're watching this movie, this was part of the first half of the Husker game. Huskers at UCLA.
Stop you right there. Yeah. That is. Now, Charles is a great wife to you. She's a great person. Someone needs to have a sit-down conversation with her when it comes to the fall and when the Huskers play. Because if we sit on this bus, and we all know Will Compton, what's he want to do on Saturdays when the Huskers aren't on a bye week? He wants to watch the game. There's this situation, and then there was your birthday last year.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm not the guy to have that conversation, and I know damn sure you're not the guy. But maybe there needs to be some sort of inception that takes place with Charles this offseason, where it's like Saturday Huskers.
So I would love,
like, you ring a bell every time Huskers, like you ring a bell and give her a piece of candy.
Yeah.
Inception.
I'd love to be putting bullets in her chest about this, but this one was on me. This one, I brought it up like.
So you let me talk about Charles like that the whole time.
Yeah, I was gonna cut in there at some point.
You should have.
You kept it going, and I'm sitting there thinking like, we were going over. I was like, oh my god. I was like, the Huskers kick off at 8. Like, we're gonna be in the movie, and she's like, oh no. And I'm like, that's all right. I'll be able to, because this is a movie. Since we're not going to Predator, I was just letting her know, like, I'm going to be tapped in on YouTube TV with the Husker game. And she was completely fine with it. However, in this indie film stuff, we talk about this niche audience. I'm checking the Husker game, and some lady leans over, and I'm like, I like have my jacket up. I have the screen on as low as possible because I know we're kind of crammed in. I'm not trying to. I know that's a vibe. Like, don't have your phone out and everything else.
And you have the light beaming off of you.
But it wasn't that much of a light, and she caught it one time because I just adjusted like this in my seat. She's like, "Excuse me, sir, that light is really bothering me. Can you not?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Fan.
Yeah.
And I close the phone so I don't get to keep up with the Huskers.
You go to the bathroom.
I folded like a lawn chair.
Good.
Like, she kind of,
as we all would.
My fault.
I think that's honorable for that lady who probably really like carved out some time to be at the Bell Court, even though all of us probably hate it. That's big of you. Now, I can respect that.
What you should have done at the end of the movie, though, is look back and go, was it worth it?
Yeah.
I'll tell you
what.
You
should have hit it with one of those.
I sat there and I was enraged for the rest of the movie, and I like watched the rest of the movie. But
maybe the movie was actually good, and Will was just blinded by anger.
I was so angry that if she brought it up again, I already had another story in my head that kind of like go back and they're
Right.
like, hey, we're first time parents. Our kids we're away from our child for the very first time. I was just checking on. We were just checking.
You were just gonna lie to this.
I was just gonna lie to her. That's how
Good man.
That's how enraged I was
Good
getting
man.
about getting
so there's-
checked.
You should have
When
said
I-
my son's playing.
Yeah.
when I was like, I was
son's
very,
playing
I
with
was
the
keeping, I was keeping it
36-year-old,
very tight and low
35.
key, but that didn't happen. I did, like, she was sitting and watching. I had to kind of like go by her, and I'm like, as big as I possibly can, like trying to like nudge her knees a little bit, like as
Yeah,
I'm going
yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I didn't get to catch like the first. It was almost halftime when I started to tune back into the Husker
Damn.
game.
And it sounds like Latif had a hell of a game. I've only been in that situation one time, and I did say something, and it wasn't me. I went and saw, it was me, my mom, my dad, my brother. It was like a little family. We're going to go watch a movie. We went and watched 42, the Jackie Robinson movie. And there's a lady, it's like a relatively packed film or theater. And there's a lady sitting behind me. This is a Karen before Karens were Karens.
Yeah. That's what this lady was too.
Every like white guy being mean to black guy thing that happened, the lady behind me is like, oh my God. Oh, and then like they'd be like N-word or something like that. She'd be like, I cannot believe they would say that. Like, hey,
You know what
the
you
movie's taking place at the time when he's breaking through barriers, right? Like he's breaking through, he's the first black guy to do it. It's ruffling feathers of white people. That's the story. And I think the fourth time, I don't even remember how old I am, bro, but I'm sitting there, and by the fourth or fifth time, she's like, I can't believe they treated him like that. I look back, I go, hey, we get it. I look back, I go, we understand this is not good, but like, this is what the movie's all about.
Can we just?
And I
watch
sat
the
back there,
movie?
dude, and my dad leans over to me and goes, nice. We kind of fist bumped, and I was like, I think that was like when I became a man. Like that was when,
Yeah.
I stood up to a Karen right there. It's like, hey, sweetheart, honey, we get it. Like that was bad that people said and did those things. However, the movie is how we overcame those things.
Yeah.
So we got to see the bad to end up at the good. We can't just be like, black guy plays baseball, home run, home run, home run. Guy's a gangster.
And everyone loved
And
it.
everyone's like, this black guy, we should let the rest of the black guys in here. It's like, no. You got, like, oh shit. We had no idea black guys were good at sports. Like, no, bro. You got to show the white guys being mean to the black guy first. So it's like, look how much the trials and tribulation that he had to get through. And it's like, imagine how bad the guys that weren't so good at the sports were, you know? How they treated that guy. So anyway.
And just don't give us color commentary on the movie.
Bro, yeah, like who
It's like
gives
she
a
didn't know
fuck?
how the story ends.
Right. Hey, I'll tell you.